A book out of 1984, a book out of George Orwell's quote. Ladies and gentlemen, the Democrats are telling us to deny reality. I think that's what they're saying. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. There have been, have you guys seen the videos? I showed the video yesterday of Joe Biden having to be dragged off stage or helped off stage by Obama. Can you guys believe that Democrats are now coming out and telling us that these videos are deep fake by MAGA extremists? It's the wildest thing in the world. It's actually evil, more evil than they actually realize, to tell people to deny reality. You won't believe what Karine Jean-Pierre just basically told the press. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, smash the like button. Let me know where you guys are watching from. This is crazy. What I'm about to show you is wild. And we got to talk about it. Also, Tommy Lauren, does anybody know who that is? We're going to be watching a debate with her and Brian Tyler Cohen. Brian Tyler Cohen, who has come out and told us repeatedly that Joe Biden is actually more mentally fit than Donald Trump. There's a crazy game being played here. And I actually want to read this quote from George Orwell before we start, because it is pretty crazy that this is like happening right now in real time. And let me read the quote real quick. I have it on my phone. The quote says, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your ears, of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command." George Orwell, 1984. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up, it's because it's just wild. I actually cannot believe this is real. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I do not get paid to be here. I only get paid by one sponsor, which is great. You guys can also join the Locals channel to subscribe and support this channel each and every day. Noble Gold Investments phone has been ringing nonstop. Everybody wants to protect their retirement with gold and silver. You guys can do the same, and you should, because the petrodollar is done, and there's a lot of crazy things happening with our dollar. So please protect your retirement with gold and silver. And if you do it this month, Noble Gold Investments will give you a 1/4 ounce gold standard coin if you opened up a qualifying account. Go to Lou Valentino or call the number on the screen. Very important you guys do that to support this channel and help this channel keep moving forward. And this is our only sponsor, so thank you to Noble Gold. All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be amazed. We got a lot to go through today. Smash the like button. Here we go.
What?
There seems to be a sort of rash of videos that have been edited to make the president appear especially frail or mentally confused. I'm wondering if the White House is especially worried about the fact that this appears to be a pattern that we're seeing more often.
Yeah, and I think you all have called this the cheap fakes video, and that's exactly
the what? The reporter is legitimately saying that we're making all this stuff up, that these videos aren't real. What?
Exactly what they are. They are cheap fakes video. They are done in bad faith.
Cheap fakes? Does she mean deep fake?
And some of your news organization have been very clear, have stressed that these the right wing critics of the president have a credibility problem because of the fact checkers have repeatedly caught them pushing misinformation, disinformation, and so we see this, and this is something coming from your part of the world, calling them cheap fakes and misinformation. I'll quote the Washington Post, where they wrote about this, and they said how Republicans use misleading videos to attack Biden in a 24-hour period. And to their credit,
do you know, guys, I'm not making this up. This is just crazy. It's crazy. And I'm not even trying to be crazy or toward any Democrats. I really don't have any malicious intent. I really don't. Live your life. Do what you want. Pretty libertarian when it comes to that. But here's the problem. Harry Sisson, Brian Tyler Cohen, and all these people that are the left-wing voices of America, they are saying that this is a lie. MAGA is lying again. The new lie is that Biden had to be let off stage by Obama and that he froze. So then he edits the video. By the way, I'm going to show you the real video, but this is the video they edited. And they're telling us that we're lying. Take a listen. Take a look at this. So apparently they're editing. Look how many jump cuts. Jump cuts. He never froze. Jump cuts. Another jump cut. Now they're getting off stage. Jump cut again. They're waving. Look at Jimmy Kimmel. He looks worried. This is what Democrats say actually happened. Another jump cut. And right? This is what, look, another jump cut again. Let's just go through this. Is this deep fake? Yes or no? Another jump cut. So then we go to the real video from a person in the crowd. Here's the real video, by the way. In real time, guys, in real time. Here's the real video, right? Let me actually zoom in. I can't zoom in here. This is just, I guess we're living in 1984. I guess they're telling us to deny our eyes. I'm going to get closer here. Remember all the jump cuts? Here's somebody in the crowd that got the real video. No editing. This video was no editing. It's just somebody in the crowd that got the real video. But yet these people are willing to die on this hill. They're willing to die on this hill. It's unbelievable. And then earlier today, by the way, I think Joe Biden is actually more funny than people give him credit for. I know we say Trump is funny, but bro, look at this. What is this?
Are you worried about
Yo, what was that? What is this? Did he just tweak out?
Are you worried about
And then he starts laughing. Bro, this guy, he's cooked. Bro, what? One more time.
Are you worried about
No. Oh, that's too good. Oh my God, that is way too good, bro. Oh, this guy is cooked. He's just, I think Democrats, what they don't realize, Biden is old. He's old. He actually has dementia. He has not aged gracefully. It's time to accept that reality. But they don't want us to accept that reality. That he just tweaked out, had a tweak moment where he just starts doing this.
Are you worried about
All right. I want to show it again. They legitimately have Karine Jean-Pierre saying that these are deep fakes. These are not real videos. This is not the reality of the United States of America. Unbelievable. That he has lizard energy. Somebody said it in the crowd. Well, here's where things, and I told you guys, buckle up, because this live stream is going to be insane. And I really do mean this live stream is going to be insane. Like, I can't even post another video today after this. Like, I can't even post another video after this. Maybe tomorrow. But smash the like button right now. Here is Piers Morgan confronting Brian Tyler Cohen, Tommy Lauren, who is a conservative voice. I'm not sure about her. Not a fan. Don't really know her like that. And then Cenk Uygur. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you the first few minutes of this. Buckle up. Buckle up.
It looks pretty clear that the president is kind of frozen, doesn't seem to know where he is or what he's doing. His predecessor as the last Democrat president, Barack Obama, has to lead him off stage by the arm, as if he's taking him home for tea in a nursing home. And many think that's where he should now belong, rather than the White House. There was no disinformation or selective editing about that last clip. There's no disinformation or selective editing in the scores of videos we see of Biden's physical and apparent cognitive disintegration every week. Barely a day passes by without a fresh clip of him slurring himself into an inaudible cul-de-sac, or forgetting how to exit a stage, or just falling over. After watching that clip, I posted on X what I suspect everyone who watched it was thinking. Embarrassing. The Democrats can't let this go on, surely. Within a few hours, more than 8 million people had viewed the post, and many thousands had liked, responded, or commented on it. The vast majority shared my honestly held view that Joe Biden is sadly too physically and mentally unfit to function at the extremely high level required to be leader of not just the United States, but also leader of the free world. When the last Democrat to occupy the White House has to literally grab the current one because he notices he's having another senior moment and appears to be paralyzed on stage, there has to be a wake-up call that everyone in the party should urgently heed before it's too late.
It's not. It's not a wake-up call for them. All they're doing is reflecting. I mean, they're... What? Reflecting? What is the word? Deflecting. I'm having a Joe Biden moment myself. They're literally deflecting and saying it's not real.
Doesn't it? Well, the hedge fund billionaire Bill Ackman, who is a Democrat but now says he won't vote for Biden and may well vote for Trump in 2024, hit the nail on the head with a response directly to me. Look at what is going on in the world, he wrote on X in reply to my post. The perception of weak leadership in the United States has led to global chaos. The reality of weak leadership is a long-term, serious and continued threat to our country. The Democratic Party is destroying itself by advancing Biden for a second term. This is the emperor's new clothes in real life. But it's not a children's book or a joke. The world is at great risk, and a Biden second term is a grave threat to global security and prosperity. Well, I couldn't agree more. Biden is supposed to be America's commander-in-chief at what is a very dangerous time for the world. But frankly, I wouldn't trust him now to order a restaurant meal, let alone a military strike. So why is he still running for office? Let's not forget that two incumbent Democrat presidents since World War II have both stood down before they were due to run again, doing what was right for their party and what was right for the country. Well, another billionaire, Mark Cuban, took us both to task. He said we're both so consumed with pandering to our Twitter followers that we've lost all objectivity, adding in capital letters that both candidates are old, very old. He's right. But aging is relative. Only one of the candidates repeatedly forgets where he is or struggles to walk up the stairs or keeps falling over. Democrats love to go on about cultist Trump supporters wearing MAGA-colored glasses. Well, I'm not MAGA. Even Donald Trump knows that. It may be time that they admitted their president is now unfit to serve and began a serious conversation about how America and the world should deal with that. Well, joining me now to debate this are three ferocious commentators from the political right, left and centre. Cenk Uygur, the founder and host of The Young Turks, host of Tommy Lehrer is Fearless on Outkick, Tommy Lehrer, and the commentator and author of the upcoming book, Shameless. Brian.
All right, so do you guys know who these guys... This debate is about to be insane. Buckle up. It's about to be insane. Because what you're going to hear from Brian Tyler Cohen, which I think he does a phenomenal job on his channel. I have nothing bad to say about Democrat leftist commentators, although that they gaslight like a mother effer. Bro, you're about to see this guy literally says, he's the guy that says all the time that these videos are highly edited by right-wing conspiracists. Guys, just prepare for this debate, please.
And Tyler Cohen. Welcome to all three of you. Tommy, let me start with you. I watched that clip with Obama and Biden on stage, and I thought that was a really sad moment. You can spin it any way you like, but Obama noticed Biden wasn't really moving and didn't seem now to be quite aware where he was, and literally grabbed his arm and steered him away off stage. It was just a sobering thing to watch. What did you make of it?
Well, this amounts to elder abuse at this point, in my opinion, and shame on Jill Biden for not stepping in when her husband is clearly failing. But I would also say this, something that former President Barack Obama has that current President Joe Biden doesn't have is he does have his mental acuity and faculties. And Barack Obama knows that the optics of him grabbing Joe's arm probably wouldn't be great, but he also understands that the alternative would be to let Joe stand there and freeze. So to me, it's more telling when you look at former President Obama and his actions than looking at Joe Biden. So for all of the Democrat influencers, many of whom are paid by Biden PACs, who want to say that that video was somehow misinformation or disinformation, well, it's clear as day what we saw in that clip. You can't dispute it. And Barack Obama grabbing his arm, I think even further proves that point, that Joe Biden froze, or he was about to freeze, or he was about to maybe do something even more embarrassing. And the former president had to intervene, even though that in and of itself looked bad. There's no way to spin this, guys.
Well,
and they're trying. Watch how this guy right here tries to spin it. This is not even about Republican versus Democrat. This is legitimately what we saw versus how they want to interpret what we saw. I mean, just
say if there is a way to spin it, Brian Tyler Cohen. I mean, look, I'm not MAGA, I'm not Republican, I'm not right wing. I'm a kind of old-fashioned liberal of the Bill Maher variety, who also has been expressing his concern about what is happening with Joe Biden. So to dismiss it all when people point out what's going on with Biden as just a MAGA plot is demonstrably untrue.
Pierce, thank you for having me, first of all. Second of all, I was literally in the room. I was there. I was at that event at the Peacock Theater at LA Live. Joe Biden was doing what he always does, which is just waving at the crowd. He has a long history of working rope lines ad nauseum during the State of the Union. He was in that room talking to people so long that the C-SPAN cameras literally turned off. And that's what he was doing on that stage. He was just...
Oh, my God, bro. What?
Waving at people who were waving back at him, to the point where Barack Obama came around and just put his arm around Joe, you know, his own vice president, and they walked off stage together, probably because Barack Obama had less of an interest in staying and waving at the crowd as long as Joe Biden did. But this is who Joe Biden is. With that said, I understand why people like Tommy Lahren and the right more broadly have a vested interest in perpetuating this idea that Joe Biden is in the throes of cognitive decline.
Yeah, but I don't have one.
Bro, are you kidding me, Brian? We're watching the video. It's constant. It's every day now. Why can't, what? Is he serious?
Right. I don't have that vested interest. In fact, I've only ever had one.
Even Chuck Yeager is shaking his head. I don't even know what he's going to say. This is insane, bro. What is happening?
I had one conversation with Joe Biden in my life. After Beau Biden died in 2015, I wrote a column saying he was a fantastic guy, used to come on my show a lot at CNN, and how sad it was, and that America may have lost, without even knowing it, someone who could have been one of the great presidents of the country. I really felt Beau was on a fast track to the top, but it was a tragedy. And I had an amazing call from Joe Biden out of the blue. But I can tell you two things. In that conversation, he was incredibly open and honest with me about it all. It went on for about 15 minutes. But he was also lucid. He was eloquent. He was articulate, and it was a perfectly normal conversation. It bore no relation to what Joe Biden now talks like or acts like when I see him in public. And I would go back even further, and I would say this is more unsettling, which is in 1986, there's a clip on YouTube where Joe Biden's a senator, and he gives an absolutely ferocious onslaught against apartheid in South Africa in a Senate hearing. And it was all televised. And if you compare that man to what we now see and hear, there is literally no comparison. It is clear evidence before you that this fast-talking, eloquent, loquacious, fiercely intelligent senator from 86 is now a shadow of that man. And I don't say that gleefully. Like I say, I say it sadly, but it's obvious.
Pierce, everybody ages. Joe Biden has obviously aged.
Yeah, but we're not all president of the United States, are we?
Is he as fast as he used to be? Of course not. But here's what I would offer in rebuttal to that is we're sitting here wondering if Joe Biden has the ability to do the job that he is literally doing right now and doing more effectively than any president in our lifetime.
Why is his poll rating so terrible then?
Bro, Brian, no. Like, what is happening? This is worse than AIPAC.
Pierce, is he too old to have added 15 million jobs to the economy? Is he too old to have reached our stock market to a record high? Is he too old to have brought inflation down to its target 3%? Is he too old to have brought wages up to exceed inflation? Is he too old to have signed the American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, the gun safety bill? All of these things, he is this old.
My friend, 90, almost 80% of polls are showing that people are legitimately sick and tired of, they're sick and tired of that lie specifically, of that he's not too old to this, that, and the. People think he's too old. Democrat polls are even showing that. They're unhappy. They want somebody else. Why can't you just say, okay, I think he's doing a great job, but I get that the American people want somebody else. Why can't you just accept that as the reality?
If he's so great, why is his approval rating at a record low? Why is he now losing him?
There you go.
most polls in almost all the swing states. And why are alarm bells? Well, I'd say 1/3 thing. Why are 2/3 of Democrats also of the belief he's too old to carry on with the job? And when you put all that together, why do you want him to run? It might be the only way you lose.
Respectfully, Pierce.
Damn, he's getting cooked.
I would argue that the reason that this is such a top of mind issue is because we have media like this right now, like Fox News in the United States, like Newsmax, like OAN.
Oh my God, are you serious, bro? The media's on your side. MSNBC, NBC, ABC. NBC, did I say that? All the BCs. You have CNN. Everybody is on your side. What are you talking about? Are you kidding me?
But I'm not right wing.
This idea relentlessly.
I'm not right wing, Brian. That's your problem. The Achilles heel is I'm literally not conservative. Everybody knows that. So you can say shows like this, but I'm literally
this conversation.
I'm not on the right, Pierce, so it doesn't work.
Pierce, we're having this conversation, and this conversation is that drum is beat relentlessly in the United States because it's used as a distraction to not talk about the accomplishments.
Bro, you guys don't talk about the accomplishments. All you guys talk about is how bad, racist, misogynist Trump is all day. We don't know what you've done. Actually, we can't even feel the $15 million jobs. Go look at the people. Nobody feels this way. And let's talk about the media. Morning Joe, Jake Tapper, all these, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, everybody, all they talk about is Trump being bad and why you can't vote for him. That's why. We don't know what you've done. We can't feel what you've done. We got wars breaking out everywhere else. You're legitimately not accepting reality that your own party feels that you've pushed out everybody else to clear the way for Joe Biden. That nobody wants, not even Democrats, not liberals, not progressives. Everybody is mad about the economy. Everybody's mad about jobs. Everybody's mad about renting versus owning. Everybody is mad, Brian. Why don't you understand that Americans see through your BS? You're now saying that the media is now beating the drum on the fact that Joe Biden is old, even though we can see it. But you never said anything about the Russian hoax that you guys legitimately pushed for years. That was not true. That took away from the accomplishments, even though we could actually see the truth. And the truth was that at that time, from 2017, before COVID, through 2020, people felt great about America and where America was going. Were we divided? Absolutely, because of the media. So we can use this argument. It's so crazy that you guys are now victims of what the media is doing when the media legitimately is on your side most of the time. This makes no sense. This is why I can never get with Republicans or Democrats, because you guys, you never accept reality for what it is. Reality is that everybody is always so distracted talking about the fake hoaxes nonstop about Donald J. Trump, which is why you have a max exodus of people that don't even want to be associated with people like you. It doesn't make any sense. Look at him. He's being a victim. He's a victim of, oh, they keep pounding the drum on this Joe Biden's old stuff. No, you guys pounded the drum on every story possible about Trump that was not true. And I've never heard an apology. So get out of here with this, bro. This is stupid.
All right, let me go to check. You've been waiting patiently.
Okay, Piers, I would...
Yeah, Tommy, quickly, yeah.
Piers, I would just want to interject real quickly because I have to say this. Brian, there is nothing I would love more than for the Democrats to stick with Joe Biden as their nominee. I have no dog in this fight. I hope you guys run Joe, because I think he's the easiest candidate to beat. So when you say, oh, it's us that are trying to make it seem like he's old. No, if you leave the guy in, it's much easier for my guy to beat him. Okay. I think what the writing on the wall is you're going to swap him out. You being the Democrat Party are going to swap him out. I'm far more concerned about a different Democrat being the nominee against Donald Trump. I hope that Joe Biden is your nominee. So any dog that you think I have in this fight of beating the drum that he's old, no, Brian, I just have eyes and ears, and I am lucid enough to understand what I'm seeing. I just wanted to make that point.
Okay. Cenk, I mean, I think you and we've talked about this before. This has to be a concern, doesn't it, for America?
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually very depressing on a number of fronts, including that my side, the Democrats, have now become like MAGA.
Wait, Cenk, Whose side are you on, bro? You can't say that.
Sorry, Brian. I love you. I think you're a great guy. Super smart. You lay out your...
I love Brian, too. I really do. I love Democrats. I just think that they're just living in this 1984 world that is insane.
Case as well as anybody can lay it out. But we do all have eyes and ears. And the Democrats are starting to look like MAGA, denying that, MAGA says, oh, Trump won the election in 2020. You have to be a lunatic to believe that. But if you think that Joe Biden is a secret dynamo behind the scenes, as the Democrats claim, you got to be borderline lunatic to believe that. No, the guy is in terrible, terrible shape. And if he has dementia, they get more stubborn. And so what if he digs in and he's like, I don't care. And his mind is actually affected by the ailments that we're seeing with our own eyes. So the Democrats have become so authoritarian that they're like, oh, my God, what if Bernie Sanders wins? What if a progressive wins? Let's all bow our head to the mad king. And that's what he is at this point. So we have two mad kings running. One's a moron to begin with. Donald Trump's one of the dumbest people who's ever been in political office. And now his brain is melting, too. He's saying, oh, you do look at Joe Biden. He has dementia. My doctor, Ronnie Johnson, he told me it's Ronnie Jackson, you idiot.
Yeah,
so
Cenk,
we have two blithering morons.
Cenk, on that
people
point.
That are...
What? Now, I get it. I get it. He's coming at Trump. But this is the right answer. He sees with his eyes. He has his opinion about Trump. But he's also mentally aware of the fact that the Democrats have become authoritarian. They've become everything they've ever hated. This guy knows he ran for president, even though he probably wasn't even eligible. So think about it. Don't worry about... I'm not worried about what he thinks about Trump. We already know these people don't like Trump. What I'm worried about is the right answer here. For your people and the people that you surround yourself with. He's legitimately telling Brian the truth. This guy is bad. Democrats are bad. They hate progressives. They hate super leftists. They clear out the way for Joe Biden. They manipulate the media. These people are legitimately going to war with themselves all the time. But the media would never tell you that. Why? Because they're always focused on Trump. This is very interesting.
Affected by mental ailments, running for office.
But Cenk, here's the difference.
Deeply embarrassing moment for America.
Here's the difference. I've watched a lot of Trump recently. He rang me a couple of months ago. We had a long chat. And he sounded completely normal. Exactly the same as he sounded when I did Celebrity Apprentice back in 2008. Honestly, he could have been exactly the same guy. Trump's never had a drink, never had a cigarette, never had a drug. For all that people think of him, he's still basically the same guy he's always been. Now, he free rolls.
I don't think so.
Well, hang on. Well, he free rolls in the way he speaks. And you can go back and watch him. I used to watch him over the boardroom on Apprentice night after night. And he'd say lots of stuff, and some of it wouldn't stack up to a fact check, and some of it didn't sound quite right. But I would say there's been no cognitive decline in Trump, that he's always been basically the same kind of guy. He's a little bit older, but when you think he's only 3 years younger than Biden, my God, I mean, the difference between the two of them. And as I thought, Bill Ackman, a very good point he made, Warren Buffett's in his 90s. And he doesn't sound anything like the way Joe Biden does. It's not about his age. It's about his mental acuity. And I just think, I tell you when the chickens come home to roost for everybody trying to defend this or trying to make some equivalence with Trump. June the 27th, these two guys are going to get on a stage in a live television debate that will break all records, I think, for ratings, probably around the world. And you know what's going to happen? Over 90 minutes, however long it is, Donald Trump is going to take Joe Biden to pieces. And it's going to be utterly, utterly humiliating for the president because he has been protected so carefully in his term of office from this kind of thing. And when he gets exposed, honestly, Cenk, I think it's going to be utterly humiliating and Trump will destroy it.
Well, Piers, there's a reason why the debate is historically early. The debates are never before the convention.
Oh, yo, Cenk, look, man, respect to Cenk. He's keeping it real on what he really feels. Brian is like, he's corporate now. I don't know what happened to Brian. He's like a corporate guy now. Cenk is just telling the truth. He's telling the truth about the circumstances of the debate.
And why the debate is historically early. The debates are never before the convention. I think the Democrats put the debate before the convention so they'll have one last moment to try to talk Joe Biden out of this race. Because I disagree with you slightly on Trump. I think he's always had the lowest IQ of any human being that's ever been in public. So, but I think he's lost a couple of points. So he went from like a 20 to a 15. He's way, way below Biden, but I get it. He looks energetic. Biden looks like, I mean, come on, guys. The emperor has no clothes. They hate me for telling people that the emperor has no clothes, but my job is in news. We all can see how incredibly old he is. So my point is, for God's sake, pull him. If you don't pull him, we're going to lose to Trump. Why do you want to lose to Trump? Why do you want to give
Here comes the meltdown.
About 10 points. Hate me all you want. And every Democrat says it's my fault. It's people, oh, no, you shouldn't tell people reality. They already see it. You've got to pull him.
He's melting down.
If you want to beat Trump. If you don't want to pull Joe Biden, you're saying, I don't mind losing to Trump. I don't mind losing democracy. All the things that I said about Trump, I don't actually mean it. I don't think it's a big deal if he wins. That's why I'm running this guy who cannot move or speak. It's absolute madness.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to come to Tom in a moment. But I want to just come to
Bro, Cenk, are you about to cry? What's happening over there?
Brian on one point, which is, like I said, there's been two incumbent Democrat presidents since the war who both gave up. They both resigned before the next election. Lyndon Johnson was one and Harry S. Truman was the other. Did it for slightly different reasons, but the bottom line was that they didn't want to go through with it, and they were persuaded by grandees in the party on both cases this was the right thing to do for the party and for the country. Why is no one having that conversation with Joe Biden? I mean, you put up a good defense, but when you have someone like Cenk, who is a Democrat, who's at his absolute wit's end, because he sees through all this stuff. It's just smoke and mirrors. We can all see what we see with our own eyes. Biden can barely move. He just shuffles now. I don't understand most of what comes out of his mouth. It is incredibly sad. So my question is, why is no one at least having that conversation in the party? And secondly, if he does get completely torpedoed at the debate, which I think is highly likely, then who would you also like to see potentially being considered to replace him, hypothetically, if it comes to it?
I think the reason that he's not being replaced is because in moment after moment, whether it's any of these elections, he is defying the odds. In 2022, in the midterms, Democrats won. Everybody counted Joe out, and he won. This happened as early as the 2020 election itself. I mean, this has been a recurring theme where Joe Biden has consistently defied the odds. And that was on the backdrop of every.
I'm going to tell you something. These people worship Joe Biden. They do. I've noticed in this video, at least Cenk knows the truth. And look, to my credit, at least, I try to criticize both sides as much as I could, even though I just think one side is actually insanely wild. But these people, they worship Joe Biden. They don't care about nothing but making sure Joe Biden is the guy. And here he is, like praising Joe Biden like he's Jesus Christ. Now, I have seen right-wingers do the same thing with Trump, and it gets me mad because Jesus is Jesus. Trump is just a man. But I'll tell you what this video is showing the world. They worship Joe Biden. Listen to the way he's told. He's defying all the odds. He's the man. We love him. We can never be anything without this guy. I mean, look, it's wild.
This happened as early as the 2020 election itself. I mean, this has been a recurring theme where Joe Biden has consistently defied the odds. And that was on the backdrop of everybody, from Tommy to Cenk. I can't actually say. I don't know whether Cenk was writing Joe Biden off back in 2020, but writing him off in terms of him not being able to win, and in terms of him not being able to push forward his agenda, and he's done it successfully. I mean, for all of the issues that Cenk has with Biden, I think that he would be the last person to take issue with the fact, with the breadth of his accomplishments while he was in office, whether it was, the American Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Gun Safety Bill, the Infrastructure Law, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act. I think, there is the fact that he keeps doing what everybody says that he can't do, whether it's winning elections, whether it's presiding over a Democratic Party that is winning elections, or whether it's actually pushing his agenda forward or adding jobs, doing all of the things that Donald Trump said he would do, whether it's lowering healthcare costs, adding 15 million jobs, passing an infrastructure bill. He's doing the things that the other guy promised he would do, that energetic guy promised he would do and failed. And yet Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe from the campaign, is actually getting them done.
Okay.
So why would he step back?
Okay, but if he did, just before we go to Tommy,
answer that?
If he did, well,
Let
hypothetically,
Cenk talk. I want to hear another leftist rebuttal this leftist.
though, Brian, just give me a name of somebody who you would be pleased to see step into the breach if it came to it. If you resign.
It's not going to matter. I'm not going to deal in like non-existent scenarios. Joe Biden.
Oh my God, Brian, this is what you do for a living, bro. You know what I've noticed about Brian here? He's finally out of his big YouTube channel that he has a huge channel. He's finally out of that bubble. And man, he sounds insane.
Biden is running. He is going to be the nominee. And so
I think you're going to have to consider it sooner or later. I want to bring Tommy in. I mean, Tommy, look, there's no doubt Joe Biden beat Donald Trump in 2020. Donald Trump doesn't want to admit it, but as I said to him to his face, he doesn't produce any evidence to me, which stacks up, which said he had that election stolen. He just lost. And he has, very bad midterms of Republicans and Trump. He had a very, Trump's record really electorally in the last 4 or 5 years has been awful. So, other than the 2016 fantastic win, is there not a little concern for you, particularly given all the criminal indictments, the fact he's now a convicted felon? I happen to think the Stormy Daniels case was preposterous and should never have happened, but he is a convicted felon. That is going to have an impact probably on some independents and some Republicans potentially. Are you not as worried as some are about Donald Trump's own candidacy here, and that maybe he ought to consider his position?
Well, listen, I never underestimate Democrats. One thing I will give Democrats is that they are very strategic and they know the voting process better than any political party in the world. They know how to get out the vote. It's something that I'm quite frankly jealous of, because you guys know how to register voters. You guys know how to get out those mail-in ballots. You know how to early vote. You know how to ballot harvest. You do a great job on the Democrat side of the process. So your messenger doesn't matter as much because your process is fantastic. And I hope that we emulate it on the Republican side. So I will give the Democrat Party that. But
wow, Tommy is growing.
I believe the reason that we lost in the 2022 midterms that were supposed to be a red wave was really for one reason and one reason only, and that was Roe v. Wade, and that was the abortion issue, something that I've been warning Republicans about for many years now, and I will continue to sound that alarm. That is the thing that lost it in 2022. And if Republicans are not careful with their messaging, that is what will lose suburban women that are right on the cusp between Joe Biden and Donald Trump in November. It will be the abortion issue. So that is something that I've been very, very honest about, and the Republican side need to get better at it. I think Donald Trump has done a good job of saying this is where it lies with the states. But Donald Trump is a candidate. I'm not worried about Donald Trump because Donald Trump is raising money. Donald Trump's base is stronger than ever. Joe Biden can't even get his base excited. You heard Cenk saying that he's not excited about Joe Biden. You'd be hard pressed to find a Republican that's not excited about Donald Trump. His base is still there. So, no, I'm not worried. I will say this, though. If Republicans don't get their process right, it's still going to be a close election no matter what. And if they swap Joe out, which I think they're going to, it's going to be even more tricky. I'm very realistic about that.
Before I go to Cenk to respond, is there a name on the Democrat side?
That was a great answer.
Something that you would actually have some fear about?
For me, I'm very concerned about California Governor Gavin Newsom, and that's who I think the nominee is going to be. Not because I think Gavin Newsom is a great leader, quite the opposite, but he's young, he's a shiny new toy, he's charismatic, he's well-spoken, he's like a white Barack Obama. So yes, Gavin Newsom does give me cause for pause, and I've been sounding the alarm. Don't underestimate Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Can I say something real quick to Tommy? Can I say something real quick to Tom? I think, in terms of what Tommy said about Donald Trump being, like, I guess, dealing with this issue correctly, the issue of abortion, Donald Trump, more than any other human being in the world, has come out and taken credit for the 3 Supreme Court justices that he installed on the court, that he appointed to the court, that overturned Roe. This idea that Donald Trump has become like a moderate force, like a moderating force as far as abortion goes, a wholesale denial of reality.
Well, because he wanted to bring a more conservative outlook, and he wanted to give the power back to the states. And he wants to stop killing children. Hello, Brian. What?
Furthermore, the Republican Party, since the 2022 midterms, has decided to attack contraception, has decided to just recently opt not to vote in favor of IVF. This idea that the Republican Party as a whole, not just Donald Trump, but the Republican Party as a whole, has become more moderate or careful on the issue of abortion, women's reproductive rights, is just not paying attention to what's happening in reality right now. It's only gotten worse. And now we've seen stories of 12-year-old girls who've been raped in Mississippi, 10-year-old girls who were raped in Ohio who had to flee the state for abortion care, a woman in Texas whose fetus had a fatal genetic condition who had to flee that state. It is not getting better. It is only getting worse. This issue will continue to plague the Republican Party because they continue to be as extreme as they possibly can on women's reproductive rights.
Okay, let's go to Cheng. Cheng, first of all, your response to what they've just been saying.
Yeah. So first of all, to answer Brian's earlier question, by election day, I thought that Joe Biden would crush Donald Trump in 2020. He actually won by less than I thought he would because I was reading the polls.